everyone, Onlyman here. My first ride-along video. I'm starting this video as the start to a video series I hope to continue doing. And basically what will happen is I will record a gameplay of me or someone that I know, or even you guys potentially. And basically I will take the video, load it up, and then I'll basically cast it from a point of view setting. This won't be a full battle kind of view, what you see in spectator mode. This will be more along the lines of what this person's doing, the decisions they're making, what they're doing good, what they're doing bad. And as I said, the first ones are going to be from me. But I hope, eventually they could be from a variety of resources. And I'll probably go into that at the end of the video. Alright. Well, to get started, this video was a random game I pulled up about 30 minutes ago. It was a full random crew, no one I knew on any of this, and I decided to bring a lumberjack. The other team, they brought a flamethrower junker with a Hades, and I think it was a Spire. Not sure. I kind of was having a lot of network problems during this, which you'll see. And well, you might say, well, Holy Man, why would you choose a video? It's not really high quality. Well, I chose it just to kind of show, some of the things that may happen to you. I mean, this game has been known to have kind of issues kind of like this. Mine are some of the more extreme issues, which is why I had to take a break. But, I'm still having the same issues, but I'm just saying, just going to kind of bear with it. Anyway, let's get started. This isn't the exact beginning of the game. This is just the first time that the action happened. I'll be skipping through various parts of the game where not a lot going on. And anyway, let's get started. So what we see going on here is just found our first person. Alright, I'm going to put the volume down. I think this is this guy's first time on a lumberjack. So I was kind of walking him through it right now, telling him how to aim. He eventually started learning very well. I was very impressed. I am fully convinced the lumberjack is the hardest gun to shoot in the game. So this is really nice by him. It's the volume right there. And so this is one of the network problems you'll see. Hang on, let me skip past it. I kind of rage a little bit. So, hear that. There we go. And, so yeah, that's just a problem that I've been having. Don't know how I can fix it. Alright, so this is what hang on, let me back it up a bit. Boop. We see here, I load back in, and there you are. Junker coming at me. So, one of the first thing I do is, and this is very important, a lot of times what I'll see is they see someone coming at them. First thing that they do, they just want to back the hell up. With kerosene, with moonshine, just get up. That's not necessarily the most ideal thing to do. So let's look at the Junker, for instance. So it has a fairly good turn radius, and basically it can orbit a target pretty decently while keeping speed, but what it can't do is leave that orbit and try to regain new target areas. And that's just the reason. That's because of the nature of the engines and also the nature of how the guns are positioned. So what I do here, what you'll see, is instead I position myself. The only tool I will use is my Phoenix Claw at first. And that's because Phoenix Claw honestly doesn't use that much engines. So what I do, actually I didn't even bother using the Phoenix Claw. So what I do is I wait till I'm in a position where I'm perpendicular, basically, to the ship. So that way I can just end up going straight back. Because my ship its main weapon, its only real weapon it has, is at the front of it. Which and it doesn't have a lot of sideways arc, mostly up and down, well up. So basically, what I did now, as I said, I thought I was gonna use Phoenix Claw. I obviously didn't, but you as you see, you really don't need to. It just depends on how you can form that T. That's what you're waiting for with most ships. The only ship I would say that you really don't want that is the galleon. That's because the galleon it's all about broadsides. Basically, you'd want the opposite of that. You want to wait till it's at the front and the back or the back, then kind of drive back that way. But because of the nature of this junker and the weapons it had, this was the best idea at the time. So use a little bit of kerosene, not too much, because I knew I still had some stuff was damaged. You know, just he has four flamethrowers on him, and there we go. My gunner starts just reaming into his balloon, pops it really easy. I mean it's a junker, has a big target for a lumberjack, and then we bring him down, experience a little bit of lag, and switch to the Duckmaster. I knew the Duckmaster wasn't going to have much time because he saw his hull just broke, and then our goldfish was going to come around to make sure that he doesn't get that far with that Hawacha. And bam, I believe he bounced, and then dead. So really good play by my goldfish friend over there, and we'll kind of skip a little bit. Not much happening. So here, just kind of backing up, I end up. Oh, that's really funny. I end up backing up into to a wall. A little silly mistake of mine. I'm the first to admit I'm not perfect. So one thing you need to do if you're using this kind of ship is you want to make sure that you are putting out as much damage as you can. That means making sure that that gun, your lumberjack, is on target for as long as it can be. Alright, so if you watch here, it's probably this is gonna end pretty easily for us. He's just going to gonna keep popping him until I believe he takes another watch blast and dies from it. One thing that you may hear me saying in the background is fact that if you pop someone's balloon, all the damage that would go into the balloon is then transferred into the armor. Once the armor is down, any damage that you put into the balloon goes to the permahull. You'll see this when, like, let's say you'll probably see this in this with Aspire. I think later on in the game that he'll be shooting the balloon, but he'll get the red hit markers that you normally get whenever you're shooting permahull. So that's just because of the way that the damage transfers. And it makes it really nice for Lumberjack. Straight to the hole. And so we just finish him off. Ends up, pretty sure he just ends up dying here. Oh, no. Oh, yep, there he goes. And, yeah, there comes Spire. He doesn't... Good thing by Spire. I thought Spire would be coming in just, all ready to rock and roll, but he decides to stand back. So good job by him. Really, really nice. We kind of slip through here, show off a little bit, and I want to speed this up a little bit. I would have to say that that Lumberfish is definitely one of my favorite ships to play. It's really fun. All right, here we go. Go into a little bit more action. I like this position. I didn't just choose the going through there just to go through there. I chose it because one of the most important things about Guns of Icarus is predicting your enemy, and I knew that based off of what they were doing before, that they were gonna play kind of aggressively. What now? Where I'm at, I know that with the way that they have to approach the canyons, my lumberjack gunner would have plenty of time to pop his balloon. And so I was thinking about that when I saw the crevice back there. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll hide in there a little bit. Because the thing is, I didn't know necessarily where the Junker was. The Junker could have spawned close to the spire, and he could have gone with kerosene or moonshine to get in right behind him. As you see, there's a lot of smoke clouds there. So basically, what I ended up doing is getting behind there. Because if I was in front of that canyon, I would get overpowered very quickly. Because my gun doesn't have a lot of area of the. It has no area. It's a sniper gun. It focuses on a single target, on a single area. So this way, as you'll see, it gives me plenty of maneuverability. I can hit my burst damage and then immediately move to a position that's a little bit more favorable for me. So I'll go ahead and go on with it. See, there you go. Pop the balloon. And then I go ahead and reposition. Yeah. Props to my beacon flare gunner. You'll see later in the game, he does get a little bit too much fun with it, but you know, he does a good job. I mean, as you'll see, this was a very novice crew. There you go. I will have to say that for this game specifically, these were some of the two easiest ships to take down with with the lumberjack. I mean, the Junker has a huge balloon. Spire has a very obvious. It may not be big, but it's obvious. You just shoot literally at the top bulge of it, and I mean, makes it pretty easy target. So I did not to take away from my gunner. Really awesome job he did. He starts to get really good with it later on in the game. Even actually right here, he does really good with it. So I'll keep doing. This is where we managed to get our first kill in the game. There you go. It is quite hard. That is one thing with this ship. It is quite hard to get kills, just because the kills you get is mostly going to come from them bouncing. So it's easy. Not, I wouldn't say it's easy to not get kills, but it's easy for your teammate to kind of steal them, or you know what I mean. And not. I mean, I honestly just really care about winning. So all right. So what's gonna happen is we're kind of gonna wait for a little bit. Our teammates, our enemies. Okay. See, this is what I get to deal with. That happens quite often. Only during certain times of the day, but still very annoying. So basically we're just chilling here, waiting, realize, oh, you know, our enemy is not going to come to us. We're going to have to come to him. And we do. So we just end up chilling. This is something that I pointed out to my crew that I really enjoy about this ship. So you'll see right here, I would say. Pause. There you go. Anyway. Right about here, sorry, is really good for this ship, for this specific setup. And that's because Lumberjack has a very high arc. Its low arc is decent, but it can shoot very high. So the best ways to approach the enemy is from below. This is really cool in two ways. One, not a lot of guns can really kill you from below. That's because the pilot has a hard time kind of seeing what's below him or her. Sorry, and so they'll start to descend. So that way they can get better arcs on you. And then what you can do is you can start backing off. And when you can start popping the balloon, they're gonna be very low to the ground, right? So you pop their balloon, they're gonna bounce. They're gonna have all those. They're gonna have all that bounce damage, and then you can just keep them pinned. This is something that I really love about Lumberjack. Is just the nature of the weapon makes people go into a position where they end up killing themselves, basically. because if you were to attack, like let's say you were to keep someone up, in higher altitude, they'll have plenty of I wouldn't say plenty of time, but they'll have time to not only inflict damage on you while they fall, but also to get their balloon repaired. But if you start to bring them down, then they're not gonna have enough time. Then they're gonna have to start worrying about hull damage, them bouncing, as well as hull damage coming from you shooting at the balloon. And they're gonna have to try and shoot you as well. So whenever you play a lumberjack, remember you. I know it's very uncomfortable for a lot of people. It was for me. Whenever I was like, well, you want me to play close to the, I'm supposed to play close to the ground. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But it honestly, that's from what you'll see. I mean, you kind of saw that with the Junker there and the Spire earlier. Since they were very close to the ground, they just fell and died. All right, so let's kind of progress here and keep going, chugging along. Dude, I am sorry about my internet issues. This is just kind of, I really enjoyed this game despite all that. So that's kind of why I chose it. I mean, I'll have better games whenever I'm playing at more better times for me. This is the only game that does this for some reason. Every other game, if I'm playing at a very bandwidth uh, bad time for me, it just lags. But for some reason, Guns of Icarus, anytime I would supposed to lag, I just get booted back to the menu. All right, so we just keep on. I tell him, hey, you need to wait here. Just need, there's a Spire and a Junker. The Junker is not even set up to kill anything. It has a Hades and flamethrowers. It's not going to kill you. So you're like, oh, let's just go take it. There will be one more time where the server disconnect hits me. Very unfortunate time. I don't die, but I raged pretty hard. So one of the reasons why we're gonna kind of skip it. Send this down. So here we kind of get spotted. So I tell them to go ahead and go around the right hand side. And because if we go around the front, you're in a very large open area where you can easily get 2v1 by both the Spire and the Junker. See here, going this way, what do we have? We have the Spire over to our left, who isn't doing much. See, this is what happened. I saw the Junker, I was like, oh my god, no! Let's see if I can pause it. That's probably not going to happen. Anyway, it just makes it... Okay, seems like I paused. It makes it easier to approach the targets and to choose what targets you want. So this way, since we went that, I was able to ignore the Junker completely because he's behind all those rock pillars because he tried chasing me, and now I can go behind them, and there I have it. Perfect shots on the Spire. Let's see if for some reason this playback program doesn't enjoy me. So let's kind of scoop through here. Oh, okay, so I kind of backed up a little. Alright, anyway, so as I said before, you want to go through the area where you have the most control of how the enemy attacks you. Going through the far right hand side, I knew that there were pillars of rock that basically would make it so that way they would be separated. So here we go. Go ahead, start laying into the Duck Hunter. This is the kill that wins us the game. And did not have to worry about the Junker at all. Just because of the way that I approached the map and knew how the map operates. Boom, there we have it. That was our kill. What to do for us. And yep, that's it. So, a couple things to take away from this game. First thing, if you have bandwidth issues, this game is not gonna like you. As you saw. Second, if you watch my other video about becoming a better pilot, competitive scene, I talk about map awareness, and what you saw there, two instances. I think one where I went behind the crevice because I knew I would have enough burst damage to take out that balloon relatively quickly while still being protected by all the rock. Second, the way that we approached the enemies whenever we were during the final engagement. We could have gone the left-hand side of that rock. Let's see if I can't find it. I think it was back here. Anyway, sorry, this is a okay right here. Yeah, we could have gone the left-hand side, but then you'll see whenever we pull out that means it's completely open, and the Junker could rush us as well as the Spire have control over us. And I mean, I wasn't too afraid because I knew we were in a very favorable position. It was a 0-4, and just based off of how the game went, I wasn't. But strange things have happened in this game, and honestly, every game I play to win at my best, with my best skills that I have. I don't try to be lazy in a game or whatever. If I'm gonna play a game, I'm going to try and use everything I have because every game is a practice. Every competition is a practice for the next competition. So that's something you should always have in mind. Treat every game like it's just a practice for the next one. Anyway, so that's just a decision that I made, and that's just from knowing the maps. And as I said before, the way that you know the maps by practicing on the maps. And yeah, map awareness I would say is very important. And other than that, you saw some of the mistakes I had. I did pay attention to driving back and into that rock. Again, map awareness. I was pretty salty at the beginning because I just got kicked from the server about 3 times before the game even started. So I won't use that as an excuse for bad playing, but it was, I will say, did affect some things. Anyway, that's it for this ride along. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoy doing this. If you guys have any kind of games you want me to cast or take a look at and then put on YouTube, let me know. What I basically do is I use OBS, which is a streaming program, but also has a record functionality. So what you can do is, and I will leave this in the comments or the details or whatever for the video. I will include my email for this channel, and if you want any games for me to take a look at and put on YouTube, let me know. Send an email for me with the FLV file or WAV file or MP4, and I'll take a look at it and I'll do basically the same thing. I'll watch it and I'll cast it and show you what you did right, what you did wrong, and make sure that you guys get a fair and honest opinion about it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like. If you want to see more videos, please subscribe. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks.